we got some good news. The axle is back from powder coat. For fun, I threw on the overlays. See how it would look. Looks really good. I do not like the diff cover. I thought the silver would look good, but we're gonna throw on another one that I have over there, and we're gonna make that chrome. But this thing in the sunlight looks insane, and in the shade it looks like dark blue to match the truck. Also, today is Cradle Day. The bed is off, which is right there. So we pulled the bed off. I cut that gooseneck off. I have to finish grinding this down. So the gooseneck is off. And then I just finished mounting up one of the cradles. Don't mind the rust. We're gonna be fixing all that. But one of the cradles is mounted up. I only have 2 bolts in it right now, but I'm gonna show you guys on the passenger side how to mount this one up. So it'll go right there between the cab mounts. But we had to take some stuff off in order to get this to work. So there was a skid plate bolted on like right here, which is this right here for the just a skid plate for the transfer case. Had to take that off. The skid plate for the fuel tank, which is over there somewhere. We had to take that off because that was hitting the cradle, so I won't be able to run that. MISC bolts. I think this one's holding the exhaust. These 2 bolts here, so that'll need to come off. On that side, there was just like a little bracket also holding something on. Can't remember what it was for. I think it was for the brake lines. Had to take that off, but nothing too crazy. So I'm gonna show you guys how to set this one up. So I had to cut those 2 bolts off. They look like these. I had to cut one more there that's holding the exhaust on, the exhaust clamp. Luckily I only had to cut one of those. But the other one was for a skid plate as a heat shield for the exhaust. So it's not a big deal. It's still there. I'm gonna figure out a different way to mount that and secure that. But we got the cradle roughly mocked up. And now I just have to double check my measurements. They could be within a 1/16 of an inch. And if you do get it off a little bit, it's not the end of the world. Because you can just adjust your 4-link bars. I would like this cradle to go this way a little bit, and you can kind of see that this is a pain to do. It's so awkward. Let's try that. That's pretty good right there, to be honest. I'm gonna get anything better. Make sure there's no gap, which there is. That's better. Alrighty. Let's get to drilling. Alright. So what we got to work with for drilling this out, we have your punch. You basically put it up, line this thing up as center as you can, hit it, and it'll leave a little indent. So that way when you go to use your 1/4-inch bit, it's not gonna walk on you. Drill this pilot hole. Now there's 2 other ways you could drill these holes out. You need to get the end result to a 1/2-inch bit, which is what this is. You could also use a step bit. This one actually goes to 1/2 inch if you really wanted to. But we're gonna use this to get about halfway on this bit and then finish it off at the 1/2 inch because I don't really trust these things 100%. And this sticks pretty far in there. I don't know if there's anything behind that. I'm too lazy to look, so I don't want to go too deep. So Also get some cutting oil. I don't have cutting oil, so I'm using WD-40. I know it's not the right shit to use, but that's what we're gonna use. Make your fucking hole. It's pretty centered. Always cut on a low speed. Especially when you're cutting metal. That's low speed. Alright, so we made it through with the quarter. Now we're going to use the step bit. You'll sit here for a while doing this stuff. It's going to hurt your arms, it's going to hurt your back. Alright, so this is now Monday. It's no longer Saturday. It is March 4th. I had some issues with the camera because I didn't have enough storage on my phone and none of my stuff is updating to my cloud. So I had to go get my phone looked at, and now we're back in business. So unfortunately, you got to miss out on the drilling. Whoop-de-doo. But it is all drilled. I forgot to grab washers for this side of the cradle, but it's bolted on there. This cradle is actually slightly off. The cradle needs to go that way a little bit, and actually that driver's side one needs to go that way a little bit. So basically, I haven't drilled any of these other holes yet. I'm gonna take these out. I'm gonna waller them out that way a little bit on this. No, I'm sorry. That way on this side, the other way on the other side, and try and get these cradles as centered as possible with each other using the cab mount. And then I will continue to drill the rest of the holes, and that way this thing is like perfectly dead center. But basically, that's all I have to do right now. I'm pretty much waiting on the concrete to get done on the back of the garage, and that way I can move forward with everything else. Gearing, the pinion ended up being wrong for the Dana 60, so I have to order a new one. I sold the ring and pinion yesterday, so I got to get a new one of those, which needs to be a crush sleeve style for this 60. The other one was a shim style. It wasn't gonna work, so but that's gotta get ordered. Basically, that's kind of it. Not much you could do right now until I can get this truck on frame stands, but that's where we're at.